Hey there! Hi, I know it's been a long while, and I apologize. But to make it up to you, I am reviewing 2 books, not one, but then I usually review more than one at once anyway. So here goes. Let's start with The Host by Stephenie Meyer. Okay, most of you have probably either squealed or turned off your computers because I said Stephenie Meyer. I'm going to get one thing straight right away. Do not compare this book to Twilight. Good. Now that that's over, supernatural beings are falling in love with humans and they have weird eyes while humans don't. And there's a bit of a love mix-up. And yeah, it's a romance novel. And I think the main character's nuts. But other than that, it has no likeness whatsoever to Twilight. I have read the Twilight series. I have. So I can honestly say, this is way better than that. In my opinion. Of course, everything here is in my opinion. They're making a movie. Saoirse Ronan's in it. There's a different cover. There's like one with an eye. But that one kind of creeped me out. So I chose the cover with Saoirse Ronan and Max Irons and that guy whose name I should really find out. Instead, my thoughts on this book are, it's an interesting story. Could be good, could be bad, depending on what you're a fan of. Not the best writing, but it has significantly improved since the first Twilight book. Good job, Stephenie Meyer. It's about this human named Melanie who's in love with this human named Jared, and Melanie has a little human brother named Jamie, and they're all on the run. Then Melanie's caught. They're on the run from aliens from outer space. They don't drink your blood, but they do kind of take over your mind. They supposedly look like silvery jellyfish. Okay, I realize how crazy I sound like. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, Melanie is caught by these out-of-world people who are in bodies of people. She gets one of those aliens put into her. And then the alien takes over, and Melanie is supposed to disappear, like, in her mind. But she doesn't. So the alien, whose name is Wanderer, is stuck with a human in her head, or Melanie is stuck with an alien in her head, depends which way you look at it. Melanie is in love with Jared, and Wanda suddenly becomes in love with Jared too, so they go off looking for Jared. There's this seeker alien trying to, like, get rid of Melanie/Wanda. Throughout the first half of the book, we are aware of a potential attack on Melanie/Wanderer, and we're waiting for it to come up, unsure of when it will come up. I'm reading the book, and I'm waiting for this attack to happen, and I'm tensing up because I know it could happen at any time, and I don't know when it will happen. And then I reach Chapter 32. Here is the title of Chapter 32. Chapter 32, title, Ambushed. What? We are waiting the entire first half of the book for an ambush that could happen at any time, and we're so scared that it could happen anytime. We're gonna be surprised, we're gonna be screaming in our heads. And you name a chapter Ambushed. And that's all I have to say about that. This isn't really a problem I had with the story itself, which I thought was kind of intriguing, and Stephenie Meyer really needed. I didn't have too much of a problem with the weird story because it is sci-fi and I've read weirder stories. Twilight. But Stephenie Meyer's writing needed work. Who am I to insult a successful and published author's writing? I'm just a girl in a bedroom talking to a camera. Well. I'm a picky girl in a bedroom talking to a camera, okay? That's who I am. Shut up. Let's read this on page 204, okay? This little problem I have. Leave it. I know my way. He held out his free hand to me. I'll guide you. I stared at the hand for a long moment. And then, feeling the urgency in my bladder, I slowly put my hand on his palm, barely touching it, the way I would have touched a snake if for some reason I was ever forced to. Okay, you're probably thinking, what's wrong with that? Well, you could have just said you thought he was a snake. And some people have no problem touching snakes, okay? They feel dry and smooth. So, saying she would have touched a snake, barely touching it. So you're saying you think he's a snake. Great. That was one of the worst ways to say you think he's a snake I have ever seen. I've seen 3 ways of that. No, probably more. 3 that I can think of right now. There's this scene in the desert when she's pretty much about to die, and this guy who's supposedly smart gives her water and more water and more water, even though she's so dehydrated. If you gave her enough water, she would die. Yes, and also, no, when she's starving, after days of starvation, her stomach is actually going to shrink to accommodate the amount of food she's got, which is like nothing. So if she's starving, she's not gonna suddenly eat a ton because she's starving. You might think so, but she would get full actually really fast, and she might eat more because she hasn't eaten for a long time, but that would also kill her. Overeating, overdrinking, it's possible. You will die. Stephenie Meyer didn't seem to know that. Also, her lips would have been really parched, and I don't know how she would have been able to talk like she did, and I don't know why anyone did not do something about that. I mean, maybe if they didn't have resources, although they seem to have a lot of resources for people who are living in caves. But yeah, I think I'll just stop there. Stephenie Meyer said she might make it into a trilogy. Stephenie Meyer, if you ever see this, I am begging you, do not make this into a trilogy. It is fine just the way it is. Thank you. And then the alien is supposedly supposed to, wow, okay. And now I'm going to review John Green's The Fault in Our Stars. You can click on the book right there to watch that review. It's a nice book, isn't it? While you're at it, maybe click subscribe if you're into more book reviews, or comment if you liked the host or didn't like the host, and like if you agreed with me, and don't dislike even if you disagree. If you disagree, I want to know why, and put it in the comments. You can't just disagree for absolutely no reason. You can't. It's in the rules. Done clicking on it? Right there. Nice book. By one half of the Vlog Brothers. They're on YouTube. You may have seen them. Yeah. My arm's getting tired now.